Hello everyone. Today, I want to share something very important with you. If you want to change your life, you must first change yourself. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, but now. You must decide that you are capable of more, that you deserve more, and that you will not let fear, doubt, or failure stop you. Many people wait for the perfect moment, but the truth is that moment never comes. Every great success story begins with one simple decision, the decision to start. And once you start, the real challenge is not beginning, but continuing when it becomes difficult. The difference between people who succeed and people who stay stuck is simple. It is not talent. It is not luck. It is their habits. Successful people never stop learning. They don't wait for knowledge to come to them. They go out and look for it. Every day, even in small ways, they choose to grow, to improve, and to become a little better than yesterday. It is not about having a degree or formal education. It is about having a mindset that says, I will keep learning no matter what. The world is changing very fast. New ideas, new skills, and new opportunities appear every day. If you are not learning, you are not staying the same. You are slowly falling behind. Many people don't realize this until it is too late. They stop learning after school. They think education ends with a diploma, but real education begins when no one is forcing you anymore. When there is no teacher, no test, and no one checking your progress. That is the moment you must take responsibility for your own growth. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine two people starting their careers at the same time. The first person only does what is required. They finish their work, go home, and spend their time on entertainment. They don't read. They don't learn anything new. And they stay comfortable. The second person is different. Every day, even for a short time, they learn something new. They read a few pages, listen to a podcast, or learn from people who are more experienced. Now think about this. After 1 year, the difference may not be very big, but after 5 years, the difference becomes clear. One person is still in the same place. The other has grown, improved, and created more opportunities. This is the power of daily learning. Small actions, repeated every day, create real change over time. But learning is not always easy. Some days you feel tired. Some days you don't feel motivated. You want to relax, scroll on your phone, or do something simple. That is normal. But growth does not depend on how you feel. It depends on what you do. Even 20 or 30 minutes of focused learning every day can slowly change how you think and how you act. Think about it. If you read just 10 pages a day, that is more than 3,600 pages in 1 year. Many books, many ideas, and many chances to improve your life. But only if you use what you learn. Because knowledge alone is not enough. It only becomes powerful when you take one idea and turn it into action. Many people say, I don't have time. But the truth is, it is not about time. It is about priority. If you have time to scroll on your phone or watch content that gives you nothing, then you have time to learn. The real question is not, do you have time? The real question is, what do you choose to do with your time? Learning is not only in books. It is everywhere. It is in the conversations you have, the mistakes you make, the challenges you face, and the questions you ask. Every situation in your life is teaching you something, but you need to be aware. You need to train your mind to look for lessons instead of problems. Your mind is the most powerful tool you have. But if you don't use it, it becomes weak. If you don't challenge it, it stays the same. And in a world that is always moving forward, Staying the same is the same as going backward. So invest in yourself, not for other people, not for approval, but for your future. Because the more you learn, the more opportunities you create. The more you grow, the more confident you become. And the more you continue, even in small ways every day, the closer you get to becoming the person you truly want to be. The way you start your morning sets the tone for your entire day. This is not just a nice idea. It is something you can feel in real life. Think about a normal morning. Your alarm rings, you feel tired. Before your feet even touch the ground, you pick up your phone. You check messages. You scroll. You look at random content. 5 minutes become 15. 15 becomes 30. Suddenly, you are late. You rush. Your mind feels busy before your day even begins. You are not leading your day. You are reacting to it. And this is where most people lose control. Not at night, not during work, but in the first moments of the morning. Now imagine a different start. You wake up. You don't touch your phone. You sit quietly for a moment. You take a deep breath. You think about what really matters today. Maybe you read something simple. Maybe you move your body a little. Then you choose one clear focus for your day. Same morning, same 24 hours. Completely different direction. Let's look at it clearly. Two people wake up at the same time. One keeps pressing snooze, checks messages, scrolls without thinking, and suddenly realizes he is late. He rushes everything, and his mind is already stressed. The other person wakes up and takes control. He pauses, he breathes, he thinks, he chooses what matters. Now ask yourself honestly, which person will have a better day? Which one will feel focused, confident, and in control? You already know the answer. And here is the good news. You don't need a perfect routine. You don't need to wake up at 5 a.m. You don't need a complicated system. You only need intention. Even 10 to 20 minutes is enough. A few minutes of silence, a few minutes of reading, a little movement, a simple plan. That's it. These small actions send a powerful message to your mind. I am in control. And when you repeat that message every day, something changes. You become more focused, more disciplined, more aware of how you use your time. That is the real power of a morning routine. It is not about doing more. It is about starting your day the right way. One of the best ways to start your day is with silence. Not noise, not your phone, just a few quiet moments. Let me be honest with you. Most people wake up and the first thing they do is reach for their phone. Before their feet even touch the ground, they are already checking messages, scrolling social media, and reading news. And in just a few minutes, their mind is full. Not focused, not calm, just full. This is where the problem begins. You are not starting your day. You are reacting to it. Instead, try something simple. Sit quietly for a few minutes. Take a deep breath. Don't do anything. Just think. Maybe think about one thing you are grateful for. Your health, your family, a small good moment from yesterday. It doesn't have to be big. These quiet minutes are not a waste of time. They are in control. When your mind is calm, you think better. And when you think better, you make better decisions. Now, let's move to the next habit. Reading. You don't need 1 hour. Even 10 pages is enough. But here is what most people don't realize. 10 pages a day becomes 1 book a month. 1 book a month becomes 12 books a year. Think about that. 12 good books can completely change how you think. One idea can change how you act. One sentence can change how you see your life. And what you read in the morning matters. If you start your day with something useful, your brain stays in that direction. But if your morning starts with random content, your mind becomes scattered before your day even begins. Now let's talk about your body. Many people think exercise is only for health. That is not true. Movement is also for your mind. When you move your body, your energy changes. You feel more awake, more focused, more confident. You don't need a gym. You don't need a perfect routine. A short walk, 5 minutes of stretching, a quick workout, that is enough. This is not about fitness. This is about energy, and energy changes everything. Here is something most people miss. Direction. Many people wake up and let the day control them. Messages come, tasks appear, problems happen, and they react to everything. But successful people do something different. They decide first. Take a few minutes and write down your top 3 tasks. Not 10, just 3. These are the things that matter most today. Then imagine yourself finishing them. See it clearly. This is not just thinking. This is training your brain to focus. Your morning is not just time. It is direction. If you control your morning, you control your day. And you don't need a perfect routine. Even 20 minutes is enough. A few minutes of silence, a few minutes of reading, a little movement, a little planning. That's it. But here is the truth. Most people don't lose their day because of one big mistake. They lose it because of small distractions repeated every morning. When you lose your focus, you slowly lose your future. So protect your morning, because when you protect your focus, you protect your life. Now there is one more thing you need to understand. Your environment is shaping you every day, whether you realize it or not. What you watch, what you listen to, the people you spend time with, all of this is building your mindset. If your environment is full of complaints, excuses, and negativity, your thinking will slowly become the same. You will start to see problems everywhere. But if you change your input, your thinking begins to change. You don't need to change everything around you, but you can change what you allow into your mind. Instead of scrolling for hours, listen to something useful for 10 minutes. Instead of watching random videos, watch something that teaches you one idea. These are small changes, but small changes repeated every day change how your brain works. Successful people understand this. They don't just work hard. They protect what enters their mind because they know one idea can change everything. But here is where many people fail. They learn, but they don't act. They watch videos, read books, feel motivated, and then do nothing. And without action, nothing changes. So every time you learn something, ask yourself one simple question. What can I do with this today? If you learn English, speak one sentence. If you learn about habits, change one small action. Because action is what turns knowledge into results. And finally, look at the people around you. Your circle matters. If the people around you are always negative, always afraid, always making excuses, you will slowly become the same. But if you are around people who think bigger, who take action, who push you to grow, you will grow too. You don't need to remove people from your life, but you need to be aware. And if your environment does not support your growth, you must create a new one through what you learn every day. Today, you have access to everything. You can learn from the best people in the world right on your phone. So the real question is not, do you have opportunities? The real question is, are you using them? Because in the end, your future is not decided by where you start. It is decided by what you do every single day. If you truly want to grow, you have to look for it. Growth does not come from waiting. It comes when you actively search for knowledge. You can listen to interviews, watch podcasts, read biographies, and learn from people who have already achieved what you want. This is important because success leaves clues. Successful people do not arrive there by luck. They follow habits, ways of thinking, and actions that you can learn from. When you start paying attention to these patterns, you can begin to apply them in your own life. But here is something many people forget. Your time is your most valuable resource. You can lose money and earn it again, but you cannot get your time back. Every day, you are making choices, even small ones. You choose what to watch, what to listen to, and how you spend your time. Some people spend hours scrolling on their phones or watching random content, and at the end of the day, they feel empty, like nothing has changed. So you have to make better choices. Choose learning over distraction. Choose growth over comfort. For example, instead of watching content that gives you nothing, you can listen to a short English podcast. Instead of saying, I am too tired, you can spend 5 or 10 minutes learning something small. These decisions may feel unimportant now, but over time, they shape your future. When you surround yourself with useful knowledge, something begins to change inside you. You start to think differently. You begin to believe that growth is possible. And this belief is powerful because once you believe you can improve, you start taking action. And when you take action every day, even in small ways, progress becomes real. Now let's talk about challenges. Every challenge in your life is trying to teach you something. But the real question is, are you willing to learn from it? Many people are not. When something becomes difficult, they stop. They complain, blame their situation, and slowly give up. But successful people react differently. They don't see challenges as problems. They see them as training. They understand that the hardest moments often bring the most important lessons. Think about your own life. Maybe you failed an exam, missed an opportunity, or felt rejected. In that moment, it felt painful. You felt disappointed. Maybe you even started to doubt yourself. But if you look back, you can see something else. Maybe that failure pushed you to work harder. Maybe it showed you a weakness you needed to improve. Maybe it changed your direction and helped you grow. This is how real learning happens. Not when everything is easy, but when things are difficult. No experience is wasted if you choose to learn from it. Life will not always follow your plan. There will be times when everything feels confusing. You try your best, but things still don't work. You may feel like your effort is wasted, but this is part of the process. Success is not about avoiding failure. It is about learning how to stand up again after every fall. Every successful person has faced rejection, doubt, and failure. The difference is simple. They did not stop. They did not let those moments define them. They used them to move forward, step by step, becoming stronger each time. So don't see challenges as something that blocks you. See them as something that builds you. Because every time you continue, even when it is difficult, you are not just improving your skills. You are building something deeper. You are building discipline. You are building confidence. And over time, that becomes your strength. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Start where you are. Use what you have. Learn something small every day. Because in the end, your future is not built in one big moment. It is built in small actions, repeated every day. Imagine if life were always easy. Would you ever grow? If everything came without effort, you might feel comfortable, but you would never become stronger. Real growth comes from struggle. It happens in the moments when you feel like giving up, but you still choose to continue. And this is where many people fail. The problem is not the challenge. The problem is how we react to it. When something feels difficult, many people think, maybe I'm not good enough. And that thought stops them. But successful people think differently. They don't ask, why is this happening to me? They ask, what can I learn from this? That simple question changes everything over time. Failure is not a sign to stop. It shows you what you need to improve. For example, when you learn English and forget words or make mistakes, it does not mean you are bad. It means your brain is still learning. You don't need less confidence. You need more practice. Look at real life. Entrepreneurs lose money. Athletes lose games. Students fail exams. But they don't stop. They adjust. They learn. And they try again. They are not more talented. They simply react differently. Your mindset towards challenges shapes your future. If you take problems personally, you will feel weak and give up. But if you see them as lessons, you become stronger each time. So ask yourself a simple question. What is this teaching me? Even small moments matter. When you feel tired and don't want to study, that moment is teaching you discipline. When you don't understand something, that moment is teaching you patience. Step by step, these moments are shaping you. But here is something real. Even when you understand this idea, it is still not easy to follow. You may know what to do, but you still don't act. And this is where discipline becomes important. Discipline is the bridge between what you know and what you actually do. Motivation is not enough. Some days you feel ready. Many days you don't. Discipline is what keeps you moving when you don't feel like it. It helps you take action, even in small ways. Most people start strong. They set goals, make plans, and feel confident. But after a few days, reality comes. You feel tired. You feel distracted. And you say, I'll do it tomorrow. That small sentence is very dangerous because tomorrow becomes next week and next week becomes next month. This is how people stay stuck, not because they are not capable, but because they don't act consistently. So keep it simple. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need long hours. Even 10 minutes a day is enough if you truly focus. Show up, even when it is not comfortable. That is how progress begins. Think about athletes. They don't train only when they feel good. They train when it is difficult, when they are tired, when they don't feel ready. That is why they improve. The same applies to you. If you want to improve your English or any skill, you must show up regularly. Not perfectly, just consistently. And remember this. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. You may want to rest. You may want to relax. But you also want to grow. And only one of those choices moves you forward. When you understand this, everything becomes clearer. You stop waiting to feel ready. You stop depending on motivation. And you start taking action, one small step at a time. One of the biggest mistakes people make is waiting for motivation. Many people say, I will start when I feel ready, or I just need the right inspiration. But the truth is, motivation is not something you can trust. Some days you feel excited, but other days you feel tired or distracted. If you only act when you feel motivated, you will stop very quickly. Discipline is different. It helps you take action even when you don't feel like it. For example, you wake up early and feel tired. You don't want to study or practice, but discipline tells you, just do it for 5 minutes. And that small action is enough to get you moving. It does not depend on your feelings. It creates action. The key to discipline is simple, but not easy. You must stop making excuses. Every time you say, I don't have time, or I will do it tomorrow, you are choosing comfort over growth. The truth is, most people don't lack time. They lack priority. If something matters to you, you will find a way to do it, even for a few minutes. People who succeed are not special. They are not always smarter or more talented. The difference is their decision. They choose to act, even when it is difficult. Some days they feel motivated, but many days they don't. They still show up. They continue. They fail, learn, and try again. Step by step, they train their mind to move forward. Another important part of discipline is self-control. This means you don't let your emotions decide your actions. You may want to scroll on your phone or relax instead of studying. These things feel good now, but they don't help your future. Successful people understand this. They say no to small distractions so they can say yes to bigger goals. If you truly want to change your life, start with discipline. Don't wait for the perfect moment, because it does not exist. Even 5 or 10 minutes is enough. What matters is that you show up every day. Over time, these small efforts build strength, and that strength becomes confidence. Growth begins when you accept one simple truth. You are not a finished person. There is always something to improve. Life is always teaching you something through your experiences, mistakes, and challenges. The question is, are you willing to learn from them? Many people think learning only happens in school, but real learning happens every day. It can come from a book, a conversation, or even a problem you face. But here is the truth. Learning alone is not enough. If you don't use what you learn, nothing changes. Knowledge without action is just information. The world is changing very fast. New ideas, new skills, new opportunities are everywhere. If you stop learning, you don't stay the same. You fall behind. Not because you are not good enough, but because you stopped growing. So keep it simple. Build a small habit of learning every day. You don't need hours. Even 10 minutes is enough. Read a few pages. Listen to a short podcast. Practice one small skill. It may feel small, but when you repeat it every day, it becomes powerful. Because small actions, repeated daily, create real change. And over time, the biggest change is not what you know. It is who you become. One of the best mindsets you can have is the mindset of a student. A true student is not afraid of being wrong. A true student does not let ego stop them. Many people stop learning because they are afraid to make mistakes, afraid to look weak. But this fear is the real problem, because the moment you say, I don't know, you open the door to improvement. Growth always begins with honesty. So stay a student every day. No matter your age, no matter your level, there's always something new to learn. Not everyone will understand this. Some people will ask, why do you study so much? Why don't you just relax? But growth is a choice. Every day, you choose, stay the same or become better. And remember this, growth does not come from one big action. It comes from small actions. Learning is not only in books, it is in your life. When something goes wrong, don't say, I failed. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? That one question can change your direction. Improvement also needs honesty. Maybe your English is not strong yet. Maybe your skills are still growing. That is okay. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep moving, step by step. When you feel unsure, trying something new that is growth, comfort keeps you in the same place. Discomfort moves you forward. The moment you decide to continue, everything changes. You stop waiting. You stop making excuses. You start taking action. And that is how you become stronger. Success is not about luck. It is not about perfect conditions. It is about your daily choices. What do you do when no one is watching? Do you practice? Do you learn? Or do you wait? The people who succeed, they are the ones who continue when it is hard. They rest, but they don't quit. They slow down, but they keep moving because they understand something very important. Growth takes time. So keep going, keep learning, keep improving, even when it feels slow. Because one day you will look back and realize how far you have come. Goodbye for now.
Your progress doesn't end here. To continue advancing your English skills, click on the next video or explore the additional video that we thoughtfully selected for you.